Ganda na lang ako.
Ay, wait! Di ba may sasabihin ka sa akin isang araw? Yung sa ano, yung sinabi mo sa akin na isang araw sa Starbucks.
Ah, wala. Wala yun.
Di ba may sinabi mo?
Wala yun.
Hindi, meron talaga eh. Nakakaalala ko yun eh.
Wala talaga yun.
Meron talaga.
Promise talaga. Wala talaga yun. Promise. Hindi. Wala talaga yun. Promise. Wala talaga. Wala talaga.
Wala! Kuya, okay ka lang? May masakit ba? Wala! Kuya! Pwede ko ba malaman kung paano ka na-injured?
Ano po kasi, galing po akong basketball training. Tapos, nakasalubong po si Crush. Tapos, yun po, kinausap niya ako. Nagpanik ako. Then, nahulog po ako sa hagdan.
Paano ka natapilok? Paloob or palabas?
Ano,
Yung natapilok ka, may naramdaman ka ba sa loob or narinig na parang nangunit?
wala.
Kaya mo ba itong ilakad? Okay, check natin. Masakit? Push as hard as you can. Okay now, pull. Push in. Push out. Okay. Sprains are injuries to ligaments, the bands of tissues that hold joints together. Ankle sprains usually occurs when the foot twists or turns beyond its normal range of movement, causing the ligaments to overstretch or tear. Recurrent ankle sprains are the most common. People who have sprained an ankle once are likely to do so again. The ligaments on the lateral or the outer side of the ankle are the ones most commonly injured.
Let's talk a little bit about ankle anatomy and how ankle sprains happen. The lateral complex of the ankle is made up of 3 ligaments: the anterior talofibular ligament, or ATFL, the calcaneofibular ligament, or CFL, and the posterior talofibular ligament, or PTFL. Remember that ligaments attach bone to bone and are there to stabilize joints, or in other words, they make sure our joints only bend in certain directions. These particular ligaments prevent inversion of the ankle or rolling the foot out. But if you roll your ankle really hard, these are the ligaments that get sprained. Peroneus brevis attaches to your fibula low in your calf and quickly turns into a tendon that wraps around the back of your ankle and attaches to the outside of your foot at the base of the 5th metatarsal. Peroneus longus attaches higher up on the fibula, then follows the same path around the back of your ankle, but then it wraps all the way under your sole and attaches to the inside of your foot at the base of the 1st metatarsal. Together, we call these two muscle tendon structures the peroneals. The peroneals allow you to evert your foot, and they decelerate your foot during an unexpected inversion. They allow you to walk, run, and jump safely and adjust to uneven surfaces. These tendons have lots of leverage to control the foot and protect the ankle because they attach all the way on the midfoot, especially peroneus longus because it wraps all the way under the foot and attaches on the opposite side.
As with most soft tissue injuries, the initial treatment for ankle sprain is RICE, rest, ice, compression, and elevation. In the early phase, you'll most likely be unable to walk on your sprained ankle. Your first aim is active rest from pain-provoking postures and movements. Apply ice packs for 10 to 15 minutes every 1 to 2 hours during the day. Do not use heat as long as there is swelling. Wrap injured area in an elastic bandage for support and protection. Raise injured area above the level of your heart whenever possible.
Hello, sir. I'm Melissa and this is my assistant, Justine. Ina-advise po namin kayo na gumamit po ng crutches para mas mabilis pa po ang inyong pagaling. Para kayo po maproteksyonan ang inyong paa para sa mga maaari pa makapagpalala dito. So, tuturuan po namin kayo na gamitin ng tama ang mga crutches at sisimulan po tayo kay tuwa.
In cases of a grade 2 or 3 sprain, it is advised to use crutches for protection and faster recovery. It is very important to use crutches only when it hurts to walk on your injured foot. It must not be used longer than necessary. When the patient is unable to put some weight on their foot, a 3-point gait pattern is to be used. As he recovers, the patient can begin to put weight on his injured foot little by little by simply walking without an assistive device. This is advisable in order for the patient to start rehabilitation exercises. Remember, lots of rest is what's important. Crutches must only be used for a few days. Crutches can be dangerous, so if you really need to go out of the house, ask a friend to be with you so he can assist you.
Good morning po, I'm Zaya. Dito po today and this is Kat. Physical therapist is Kat. Good morning po. So as of today, ang gagawin po natin is some stretching exercises. Ito pong stretching exercises, makakatulong po para ma-stretch po magaling yung muscles mo. And para hindi po mabigla kung may gagawin naman po kayong stretch before and after. So as a reminder lang po, bigyan niyo po ako kapag may pain po kayo naramdaman para malaman po kaagad kung may stop po yung exercise.
In this exercise, stand facing a wall with your unaffected leg forward with a slight bend at the knee. Your affected leg is straight and behind you, with the heel flat and the toes pointed in slightly. Keep both heels flat on the floor and press your hips forward toward the wall. This exercise is like the first one but with both knees bent and slightly point forward. In this exercise, you should be seated on the floor with both legs out in front of you. Loop a towel around your affected foot and grasp the ends of the towel in your hands. Keep your affected leg straight and pull the towel toward you. Stand with your weight evenly distributed over both feet. Hold onto the back of a chair or a wall for balance. Leave your unaffected foot off of the floor so that all of your weight is placed on your affected foot. Raise the heel of your affected foot as high as you can, then lower. Sit down so that your feet do not touch the floor. Use your foot to write each letter of the alphabet in the air. Lead with your big toe. Keep the movement small, using just your foot and ankle. In this exercise, sit on the floor with your legs straight out in front of you. Anchor the elastic band on the chair or table leg, then wrap it around your foot. Pull your toes toward you and slowly return to the start position.
Sasabihin mo ang pala ng Rick, okay ka na? Di ba halata?
Akala ko may ibig sabihin ang pag-like mo sa status ko sa Facebook. Nagre-reply ka rin sa Twitter. Akala ko, yun na. Pero nakita ko kahapon may pinost kang iba. May kasama kang maganda. Ang sabi mo sa akin, kaibigan mo lang siya. Ang hirap palang maging D-A-N-G-A. Ang hirap palang maging D-A-N-G-A. Pinapaasa mo lang ako kasi alam mo na crush kita. Oo, na crush kita. Pambihira o nung dati pa. May patanong-tanong ka pa kung sino yung nasa Facebook status ko. Hoy! Tungkol yun sa'yo. Yung sana ako na lang ang girlfriend mo. Oh. Parang gusto ko nang sabihin ang feelings ko na tinatago sa'yo. Para na akong pulis, maka-stalker sa profile mo. Ano ba? Pero nang makita ko kahapon, post mong may kasama ka, ang mundo ko'y nag-iba. Pakiramdam ko, boy, chicks mo siya. Ang hirap palang maging D-A-N-G-A. Ang hirap palang maging D-A-N-G-A. Pinapaasa mo lang ako kasi alam mo na crush kita. Oo, na crush kita. Pambihira o nung dati pa. May patanong-tanong ka pa kung sino yung nasa Facebook status ko. Hoy! Tungkol yun sa'yo. Ako na lang ang girlfriend mo. Iniisip ko tuloy, napaagaw ba paghihinala kung sa'kin may gusto ka. Nagmumukha ang sira. Iniisip na may ibig sabihin yung message mo. Ang hirap palang maging T-A-N-G-A. Ay, ang hirap palang maging T-A-N-G-A.